Hello, my name's Patrick Harris and this is Glenlee Rivoli Odyssey, otherwise known as Wilson. Today I'd like to talk to you about mental health and what's been happening in Australia for the last couple of years, last 18 months at least. When I was 3, all I wanted to be was a horse trainer and go out and demonstrate horsemanship and show people what it was all about. Today I run horse breaking schools, training schools where I help horses and people train in neurolinguistic programming, and as far as I know I'm one of the only ones that take horses from start to finish using those same techniques and people at the same times. We also breed horses here on the farm on Birrendai. We've got over 30 horses. We use all of them in our equine-assisted therapy work that we do. For breeding mares we use with young mums or mums-to-be, families to be, particularly in how to look after the mares as they're coming into foaling. The young foals, the same thing. We use them for families, young kids learning to get used to having new children in the house. Even stallion here, Wilson, we use him as well. We've got another couple of quieter horses that we use for riding. I've worked with soldiers, emergency service people, people with PTSD, trauma, anxiety. The horses are really a great way of bringing people down and or having people just be able to relate to something that doesn't judge them. We've also worked with people within the NDIS system, basically given patterns, procedures, sequences on how to do things, and I'll cover that in a little bit later on when I'm talking. Farmers, helping to build resilience. Palliative care nurses, helping dealing with depression and sadness with their jobs that they see all day, every day kind of stuff. We've worked with people with substance abuse. I've demonstrated my horsemanship techniques at Australian National Field Days, AgQuip, just to name a couple. The same techniques, interestingly enough, that we use in those are the same ones we use for helping people to overcome some of the issues that they're having. It comes down to everyone's using the resources that they've got, and as you can see here we've got a nice set of round yards. When I first started off we had an old set of yards that were just next to me, but there's been many a time where I've used gill guys or galvanised burr, something as a bit of a boundary just to hold myself and the horse in the one spot. So yeah, like everyone is just using what they've got, and it's the same with mental health. We're all doing the best with what we're given, and right now Australia's being given a fair bit, particularly with COVID, bushfires, drought, just to name a few. The mice plague was another one that we all went through. The value of working with the horses is that people that work with the horses, they have more engagement. They're more aware of their sensory acuity in a sense that they're more aware of what they see, what they hear, what they feel on the inside and outside, and also putting that all together to make something that really works. He's hiding from the sun. They have more self-worth, as in that they're able to work within a system with the horses and actually get the results. The beautiful thing about horses is horses don't lie. Horses will always tell you the truth, or at least how they see it. Those people that work with the horses, they have more self-value in the sense that they're able to put it all together and start getting those results we were talking about. Things that we teach or concepts that I feel is very important with mental health is being able to, and obviously we use the horses as basically as a metaphor for what people are going through, but the main thing is like we teach a number of steps, and those steps are like things like being able to do a mental assessment, a very quick one of beliefs and values, being able to physically assess, to walk around and see if he's got any lumps, cuts, abrasions, what his coat looks like, where his eyes are, just where he's at within himself. Putting boundaries in place and being able to stand by those boundaries and stand firm with them. Very important with dealing in work issues, social issues, relationships, and even when dealing with this guy, we've got boundaries in place. Understanding, being able to understand not only where the horse is, but also the people that they're working with and themselves. Knowing that understanding gives them a greater ability to be able to accept where that person is in the world, or at least their worldview. To build confidence, reassurance, communication skills such as body language, verbal commands, kinesthetic as in touch, what we touch and how we leave a horse, because every time we do we leave an imprint. So when I touch a horse, I want him to know that I'm nothing more than but a friend. In saying that, we've got boundaries, and as you can see, he's applying a few of those right now. And he needs to accept that he is my horse. Being able to establish compliance within an animal, and also realising that compliance comes back to us as people, that we have to stand by what we've started, the training program that we've put in place. And that's a way of measuring our success. Being consistently in doing so and building the respect and trust that these guys so much need and want in their lives. Around all of this, we put in ownership of the whole process and ownership and responsibility. The big word that comes with this is community. Now, I understand that people need to build communities. Not everyone's community is great, but we need to build what works. A friend of mine, Paul Davenport, said to me in 2018, community is what will get you through. And I said to him, where is it? And he said, right here. He said, you can talk to people on the phone, there's the internet. Get the resources you need to help get you through. As I said, my name's Patrick Harris, this is Glenlee Riverlea Odyssey, and just back on community, thank you to all the emergency care workers, doctors, politicians, school teachers, mums, dads, grandfathers, grandmothers, anyone at all that's been putting in the hard yards for Australia. Right now, as we're talking about, Australia's going through a rough time. If we can all be a little bit kinder. And yeah, just once again, thank you guys.